Hi, welcome back to Bio 10. Today our topic is cells. Cells are the fundamental unit of life. They're able to respond to environmental stimuli. They process energy, grow and reproduce, and all cells come from other living cells. They are the smallest and simplest unit that can be called living. To understand any living creature, we must understand something about cells. Given what you've just heard, you should realize, if you didn't before, that you and all humans are made up of cells. In fact, of trillions of cells, just like all other living organisms. So when we study cells, we study ourselves. So what do we know about cells? Most cells are very small, smaller than the human eye can see. Some bacteria, or prokaryotic cells, are as small as 1 micrometer, 1,000th of 1,000th of 1 meter. You could line up 1 million of these small bacteria on a meter stick. Most cells in your body, those are eukaryotic cells, are about 100 times larger than that. You could line up 10,000 on a meter stick. A dime is about 1 millimeter thick. You could stack up 1,000 bacteria cells to be the thickness of a dime. Cells are small because of surface area to volume ratios. Each internal region of the cell has to be served by a part of the cell surface. As the cell gets bigger, its internal volume enlarges and the cell membrane expands. Unfortunately, the volume increases more rapidly than does the surface area, and so the relative amount of surface area available to pass materials to a unit volume of the cell steadily decreases. Imagine what would happen if, as a baby got larger, its mouth got relatively smaller. At some point, the baby would become so large that even eating constantly through the tiny mouth would not allow all the needed food to be eaten. You can consider the same analogy with a baby removing waste from the body, but that mental picture is definitely less appealing. All cells are surrounded by a plasma membrane, a barrier that keeps the inside in and the outside out, and allows passage of materials in and out of cells. A plasma membrane, a thin layer of phospholipid molecules with embedded protein molecules, is semi-permeable. This means that some things are allowed in and out, others not. Molecules that do pass across a plasma membrane can be moving actively, requiring energy expended, or passively, moving on a concentration gradient similar to rolling downhill. There are two distinct types of cells, basically bacteria, prokaryotes, and then the rest of plant and animal cells, eukaryotes. Bacteria, all single-cell organisms that have no nucleus and are structurally quite simple, are called prokaryotic, before nucleus. And all plant and animal cells, which have a nucleus and a complex internal organization with numerous internal parts, and which may be single or multicellular organisms, are called eukaryotic, true nucleus. Eukaryotic cells have organelles that do different tasks for the cell. Within eukaryotic cells, there is an intricate network of organelles that do all the unique functions that allow the cell to function properly. Some organelles contain information to control the functions of cells and to make new cells. Some manage the use of energy. Some move or store products until ready to use. Some are the site of manufacture of chemicals needed by the cell, and some provide structure to give the cell shape and strength.